ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're gonna be doing a slightly different video this time around. During the time that I played this game, week 3 of the KPL, my mic was broken, so kind of just had to run it without a mic, do a little VOD review sort of thing. But if you guys like this more analytical thing, me going over my team, why I built it, I could either make an entirely different video, like a team builder video, or I could try to edit in a team builder that's more condensed, more easily digestible before all my games, like a lot of YouTubers do, like OG Albina, PokeAim, stuff like that. Or again, I could do it like John Jr., where I upload an entire team builder the day before. So I guess since we upload Fridays, I do it on Thursdays. I upload like a full team builder going over what I brought, why I bring it, and you get the full game. So whatever you guys want to see, I'll try it out. Because realistically, I do want to start getting into some of the more edited content. So, you know, it might be scuffed for a good while, but, you know, we got to learn one way or another. So if you're interested in that, I can definitely start doing this more. Just let me know if you want it to be a full video or you want it to be more condensed, maybe like a 5-6 minute intro type thing. Regardless, anyway, this is the team we played week 3. As you can see, pretty scary team right off the bat. Valiant, always going to be one of those mons that's just pretty annoying to play against. Just really hard to, you know, defensively deal with. Golden Go Kirim, I've seen that Fairy Steel Dragon Core a lot in Gen 9. Like those 3 mons together, I've been seeing a lot, especially Golden Go Kirim and Golden Go Val. Whether they're paired all 3 together, I see it quite a bit, but usually you'll see 2 of the 3 together a good amount, just because typing wise they fit pretty well together. Glim, again, ever since I used it in Big Juice a couple years ago, that mon has been one of my favorites personally in draft. Just hazards, can never go wrong. Gyarados, Terra, he had interesting Terra types, flying, you know, that's pretty normal, but then he had Fire, Steel, no ground, or mostly just no ground. I can understand fire, but no ground kind of caught me off guard. But so looking at my team, I assumed flying would come just so he could break through things like Shaman. So Terra, Flying, Gyarados, big threat. Rotom, again, just Rotom heat things, just annoying mon to deal with. If I'm Protein, Cinderace, and I have to worry about getting burned by it. Torterra, I was actually not too worried about Torterra this game. I initially was a little bit, but the more I looked into it, I didn't, you know, I wasn't too worried about it. Especially going into this game, I brought Sneasel to the last 2 games in a row. So for the first 2 weeks, I brought Sneasel. So I figured, you know, maybe if the guy was also watching my games or stuff like that, he could see that I'm actually bringing Sneasel and it's not just a bench warmer. So maybe that was also a deterrent for him. Alolan Persian, an annoying mon, just really bulky, hard to break through with it doesn't get Encore, but Thunder Wave, Foul Play, Parting Shot, annoying things like that. Knockoff, if it still has it in Gen 9, just annoying. Furret, I wasn't, again, too worried about, but Chimecho, I was pretty worried about, but we'll get to that in just a second. You'll see why. But so as I started building for this team, I was like, man, how do I get around this? So I figured right off the bat, I wanted something faster than +1 Gyarados, and I wanted something faster than Booster Val, and that's what Cinderace does for me. It can pressure out Valiant with a gunk shot. Once Gyarados Terra Flyings, which, you know, he should be doing just to start getting those strong Terra Blasts to really start breaking through my team with flying ground coverage. Once he Terra Flying, I don't have to worry about him resisting my Pyro Ball. I can come in and revenge kill him with Cinderace, assuming he takes Chip. So I just thought that this is pretty good. Also, just sorry. Fire coverage into his top 3 is very good. Kyurem probably takes like 50 from a Fireball. Golden Goat obviously doesn't want to take it, and Val obviously doesn't want to take it. So top 3 don't want to take it. Gyarados after Terrace doesn't really want to take it. Outside of that, Glim can take it, but doesn't want to take the combination of Fireball plus High Jump Kick, which, you know, something that he's worried about if he thinks I'm not going to be Scarf. Really, the only one that wants to take is Rotom Heat. So, and even then, we can just U-turn out if we anticipate Rotom coming out. So, I thought Cinderace Scarf was a pretty good idea here. Just outpace the things that we're worried about speed-wise, force them out, or just revenge kill. Garchomp. This set absolutely cooked them. The combination of Scale Shot, Earthquake kills his entire team, except the Chimecho. Now, likelihood he brought Terra Fairy Chimecho to this game, pretty high in my mind. Realistically speaking, probably not the highest, but I was worried about Terra Fairy Chimecho just because it would have perma-walled my Garchomp, and that would have been very not good. But I figured, you know, just odds wise, if I'm a betting man, Terra Flying Gyarados is most likely the bring. But Terra Fairy on the Chimecho is definitely a big problem in my mind. I was like, oh my god, if I see Chimecho, I'm gonna be so tilted. But regardless, the plan was I use Rotom Heat. I use Rotom Heat to match up against him. Normally, Garchomp doesn't really want to stand against Rotom Heat because I can't Earthquake it, and if I stand, I'm just going to get burned. So, plan was set up a sub in front of it. I have enough bulk to where if he's uninvested, which he probably should be this game, considering, you know, Garchomp, Cinderace, he wants to be more defensive. If he's uninvested with the 56 HP and 64 SPDF, I actually live a overheat. Or not live, but it doesn't break the substitute. One overheat doesn't. So even if he overheats me on my sub, I'm fine to set up a Swords Dance. And again, if he Will-O-Wisps me, I'm fine, just because I'm faster. Only thing I was pretty worried about was Scarf Rotom at that point, which is a 50-50 if it comes or not, but if it is Scarf, I can scout for it, or I can just bank on that being Scarf, and, you know, because if he burns me, I still get behind the sub, I Swords Dance, now I'm back at neutral, and like, well, it's not as good as obviously just being +2, no burn. It's still kind of the same thing, just less powerful, but plan was, assuming just no Scarf Rotom, we would be fine to just, you know, come in with Garchomp on Rotom and just kill everything, because that's a pretty hard thing from the Scarf into off rip, just like Scarf Will-O-Wisp, assuming I'm going to hard swap Chomp. I feel like your better play is always to click Overheat or Volt Switch, and then after I do it once, then you get conditioned into maybe making that prediction. But this Garchomp set, if I get up an SD Scale Shot, I literally kill his entire team at +2, +1. So he's kind of forced into Valiant at that point. And as long as I pop the booster, I feel pretty confident in my ability to win, just because Torn can then kill it. Cinderace obviously can kill it, booster or not. But one of our other big offensive mons later in the video, popping the booster for that mon, or I guess I'll just say it for Hoopa. Popping booster for Hoopa later on is going to be a big deal. Tentacruel, pretty standard set, nothing crazy here. Just Surf, Rapid Spin, Flip, Sludge Bomb. I had Sludge Bomb just for Valiant, just so I could one-tap it if I needed to. Rest of the moves, pretty self-explanatory. I am AV torn this game because I realize my team does not deal with Golden Go well at all defensively. Klefki takes way too much from a Make It Rain. Hoopa I'm using more offensively this game, so I didn't want to be the AV set that I ran the last couple weeks. So I realized I needed a more designated Golden Go check, and that's what this gives me. Enough speed to outspeed Valiant, which is his fastest mon. I have enough special attack to basically do 50% to a max HP Golden Go with Heat Wave. That way, if he's, substitute or recover, he can never just sit in front of me and just permanently just wall me forever. The rest I put into my HP, because, this Self-Vest should boost my SPDF enough to where we'll be good. So just make myself bulky all around. Blink Wind, U-turn, standard. Focus Blast is literally just there in case I'm in front of Kyurem and I need big damage. I thought about running Superpower, but it's just, some games you just need Focus Blast. This is one of them. So if I was ever in a situation where I needed Torn to get chip on Kyurem, that's what it is there. But for the most part, we'll just click on the top 3. Klefki, pretty standard set, nothing crazy. Flash Cannon over Dazzling Gleam because Flash Cannon hits Valiant and Kyurem. I guess Dazzling Gleam does as well, but Flash Cannon hits Valiant, Kyurem, and Glamora. D-Gleam doesn't, so that's why we're Flash Cannon. But pretty standard set. And the last set we are Scarf Hoopa, because if you look at my man's team, he does not have a ghost type switch in besides Alolan Persian. And if Alolan Persian doesn't come, or if it's weakened, Scarf Terraghost Hoopa kills his entire team. Persian takes, I think, about 40% to 50% from a Scarf Shadow Ball. So, yeah. Focus Blast, just on the off chance we needed to kill the Persian, we can kill it. And then the rest, Destiny Bond Trick is just there in case we need them. But, we're coming in to click Scarf, Ghost, Shadow Ball. So, that was the idea. But anyway, that's a lot of yapping. 11, 12 minutes intro. But anyway, let's get into the actual video here. Here we go. All right, here we are. As you can see off rip, we see the Golden Go, Rotom, Gyarados, Kyurem, Valiant, all pretty standard. And then he brings the Persian over the things like Chimecho, Glamora. So I feel pretty safe. This was the team I was expecting. So the plan was, when I was talking to the dogs, just lead Hoopa off lead, because assuming he does not lead the Persian, I pretty much get a kill turn 1. So that was the plan. Lead Hoopa, get a kill turn 1. If he leads Persian, we'll figure something out from there, because, if he leads Persian, good lead on his end, but literally into any other mount on his team, Scarf, Terraghost, Hoopa, just kill something turn 1, and that is the pressure I wanted to apply, so that's what we went for. So, we'll see. He leaves Persian, and I'm not too happy about that for obvious reasons. I guess let me move this. You get the double face cam action here. Yeah. This looks so fucking stupid. This face cam bottom right here. This is old me. This is current me. But yeah. Double face cam action. Here we go. Yeah, so this is bad lead. Literally the one lead I did not want to see this game. So we're in quite the pickle here. So I didn't really know what to do here. I kind of figured the best mon to go out into would be Tentacruel, because I can just get Tentacruel was really here. What even was Tentacruel here for? Tentacruel was literally just here for Glamora, just spinning and then just being annoying. So the fact that there was no Glamora meant I didn't care too much about Tentacruel. So I was like, you know what, I can go Tentacruel, Sludge Bomb it, maybe get a Poison or just Surf it down. And after a Sludge Bomb or a Surf, then he can't switch in on Hoopa anyway moving forward, because I'll just two-shot him after I get the chip. So I was like, you know what, let me go Tentacruel, get the chip, and we'll move on from there. He clicks Parting Shot and we're Clear Body, so he doesn't switch. As you can see by my face, that was not what I was intending to happen at all, but it made me look like a boss. But yeah, pretty cool play on turn 1. Definitely not what I had intended. Really just wanted to chip him down, but ended up working out for us. So here we're gonna Surf, get our chip off on him. He's Taunt, probably assuming I was trying to get up Toxic Spikes, which isn't a bad shout, but unfortunately for him, we go for the attack. And again, with that chip now, Persian is no longer a switch into Hoopa because we two-shot him from that range. So he has to sack something and then go Persian moving forward if he wants to effectively check Hoopa with this guy. But otherwise, everything on his team just dies to a Terrio Sheddable. So off rip, we already got good damage. Here I flip turn because I'm assuming he doesn't want to stay in because he can't really do too much damage to me. And there's no reason for him to take all this chip. So I felt pretty safe flip turning here. And even if I got it wrong, I didn't feel too worried about it. So I wasn't worried. Here he goes Kiram, which is very good for us because we get pretty much a free switch into whatever we want here. I'll give the VOD here a second to catch up. Here, I debated a few switch-ins. I debated going Garchomp, but, I can't really go Garchomp with Kiram in front of me because if he's Scarf, I just died Ice Beam. I thought about going Cinderace, but I can't really effectively Scarf myself into High Jump Kick with Golden Ghost still alive, and he's not in range of a Pyro Ball, so there's really no reason to take all that damage. Best play, the safest play is just going Klefki here, just because I can either get up a Light Screen or a Thunder Wave, and I don't think he would want to stay in on either, so... Sorry, damn. There's really we're on turn 3. There's no reason for him to have his Kiram get Thunder Waved, and even if he stays in on my Light Screen, Earth Power isn't going to do too much unless he specs. So I felt pretty safe just going Klefki here. Not a whole lot he can do here, and if he stays in, I can just always Thunder Wave next turn because he doesn't have. I guess he has Rotom for Thunder Wave, but if I get a Blight Screen and then I go Garchomp, then not even 2 overheats is going to break my sub at that point. So I felt pretty safe in doing this. Just not a whole lot that he can really, really do to me. And even then, if Rotom comes out, that's kind of what I want to start breaking through his team with Garchomp. So here I see that he swaps. He goes out into Spamton, which is the Golden Go. Which, Golden Go, Rotom, both pretty safe switch-ins to Klefki. It's just that Golden Go is a bit more offensive of the option, which I agree with. So here, we got to get on out. Even with the Light Screen up, he can just nasty plot in our face and just kill us. So we're going to go Torn, because this is our Golden Go answer with the AV. He sub, which I was a little worried about when I first saw, just because, if he sub nasty plot, that would actually do quite a bit of damage to us, but we're faster, we're AV, we have Light Screen up, so considering the situation, I wasn't too worried. I just need to, not miss my Heat Waves, and we should be fine. So, AV Torn, I think week 1 we were Boots, week 2 Specs, now we're AV. We're on to the good old Torn things, the good old AV Torn. Here, break the sub. Now we're going to see the Make It Rain come out, and that we chew that. I mean, Light Screen, AV, my God. He took more damage from Substitute than I took from his Make It Rain. Here, again, kind of the same mindset as Kier when he switched out the, kind of the same mindset as when he switched the Persian out in front of my Tentacruel. Just no reason to stay in. He's -1 special attack. He saw I had Heat Wave. It breaks his sub, so he knows I'm at least doing 25% or more to his Golden Go. And why there's no reason for him to stay in. If he had Nasty Plot, I think he would have Nasty Plotted that turn instead of just making it rain. I could be wrong, but just in my mind, there's no reason for him to stay in. He's -1. He sees that I can pressure him out offensively. I'm AV with Light Screen up. Just no reason to stay in. So, again, I felt pretty safe on this U-turn. Worst case scenario, he stays in. I can go Garchomp at this point and then also just start doing stuff because he's -1. So I felt pretty safe with this U-turn no matter what. Here, you know, I'm playing up for the camera a little bit because I didn't have a mic, so I just wanted at least some visuals to go along with it. If I can't tell the story, wow. If I can't tell the story verbally, I'll show it visually how I'm feeling at the moment. But here, I'm trying to calm my nerves down because I'm like, all right, he's not gonna be Scarf-Will-O-Wisp. He's not gonna be Scarf-Will-O-Wisp, and that's what I just keep telling myself. I was like, you know what? If he's Scarf-Will-O-Wisp, just fantastic prep on his end. But this is the game plan: get Garchomp in front of Rotom and start breaking his team down. Here we see that we're faster, and he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. So, you know, pretty hype. The set's working out exactly how I wanted it to. Here we're going to go for the SD because once I'm at +2, everything on his team just dies. And since I'm behind the sub, he can't go hard Valiant. So he needs to sack something, break my sub, then go Valiant. And then at that point, once boosters popped, I'm chilling. Because again, once the boosters popped, the Scarf, Terra Ghost, Hoopa shreds his team in half. Like, absolutely destroys his entire team. So here, he's going to go Persian on our Sword Dance. And Garchomp is in quite a fantastic position. Because if he's on the off chance he's not Booster Valiant, we just win the game right here. Straight up, we win the game right here if he's not Booster Val. Because we're going to Scale Shot here, obviously. And at +2/+1, especially with the team he brought with Valiant, Goldengo, Kyurem, Gyarados, Rotom, and Persian, everything dies. Literally everything dies. So, again, I felt pretty safe in my ability to win the game right here. Because again, if he's not Booster Valiant, we straight up just win right here with Garchomp. So, Garchomp putting in a ton of work. Sub SD going crazy on him. Thank God Chimecho wasn't here. My soul would have been crushed. But yeah, Garchomp doing its thing, man. +2/+1. And here, the opponent's going to take quite a bit of time to make their move because obviously they're kind of in checkmate already. Nothing on his team can eat a +2 Scale Shot or a +2 Earthquake. So if he does not go Valiant here and I do not see Booster, he's either Scarf or he's buffing Scarf. And at that point, I might even be willing to risk Garchomp at that point just because, you know, again, we are literally at game set point here. I know it's early in the game and it's 6-5 and I just got the first kill of the game, but literally if he's not Scarf or Booster Valiant, the game is over. Game is absolutely over. So, just Garchomp putting on a ton of pressure super early into the game, which is what we love to see. Garchomp's my goat, bro. I love this guy. But here we do see the Valiant and the booster pops. So pretty unfortunate for Garchomp. He could have got the 6-0 sweep, but the opponent had the correct prep in order. Here we're gonna go Klefki because we have a couple options. We can Thunder Wave it, we can Flash Cannon it, or we can just get up screens in front of it. All of those options sound great in my mind. So, I felt pretty, I felt like this is a good time to. Light screen also wore off. Not that I was intending that, but again, he's in a position where do I let my Valiant get paralyzed? Do I let it die to Flash Cannon or Dazzling Gleam? Do I care if screens get up? He's in quite the bind here. He's got to make a pretty interesting decision. Because if this gets parried, now Garchomp's faster at base, which means if I get that SD up later in the game, I don't even need to Scale Shot because I literally I can win with Garchomp. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, he probably doesn't want this thing to get paired because he should see from my Garchomp set that if Garchomp outspeeds Valiant in any regard, he just loses the game if I get a Sword Stance up. And even then, I don't even know if I necessarily need an SD. Just if I can get his team chip down, Garchomp can just win on itself. So I felt pretty safe that he wasn't going to stay in here. So I go for Light Screen. He ends up actually staying in, which I find pretty a ballsy play on his end. He goes for Knockoff, which is a really good play on his end. I'll give credit where credit's due. That's a very good play. In the moment, I thought that was a pretty insane play because, again, if Garchomp outspeeds Valiant, the game is literally over. There's nothing he can do. But, again, just good play on his end. Knew I was going to not hit him, and he knocked off my Light Clay. So, again, very good play on his end. Just in the moment, I thought there was no way he was staying in because the risk, like the loss associated with the gain, was super not in his favor. So here, he goes Rotom on my Thunder Wave. Back-to-back plays in a row we get wrong, but I was like, okay, this is a bit rough. Here, now that he knows my Garchomp set, and that, you know, I want to use Rotom Heat as setup fodder, because that's what I did a couple turns ago. I knew that he was going to go for Will-O-Wisp here, predicting Garchomp, because that is literally his only play. Because if I get Garchomp in front of Rotom again, he literally auto loses the game if Garchomp gets in front of Rotom again. So I can no longer hard swap Garchomp in front of Hoopa, but I can use that against him by getting a free switch in to Hoopa, because again, if he does not Will-O-Wisp here and Garchomp gets in front of him, he loses the game. Straight up, that simple. He loses the game. So I knew with that information we could go Hoopa because he does not care about the burn. And here we can get our Terra off and start breaking through his team with Terra Ghost Shadow Balls. So he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, which we expected because, again, he was kind of in a position where that was his only play. And here we get to see the big old Terra Ghost Hoopa. God, I love Terra in Scarlet and Violet. Looks so good, man. Oh my god, I'm gonna miss it when it's gone. Oh my, I gotta play in as many Wi-Fi leagues as I can before Gen 10. But even then, we'll get Megas back. So ooh, that's gonna be hype. That's gonna be hype. But here we get our Terra Ghost off, and look at that. What a beauty. What a beauty. Here, gets Shadow Ball off, and we're going to do some big chippage with the Hoopa. Look at that. We love that damage. Here, he's going to overheat, but it's going to do literally 0, because I'm pretty sure the light screen is up. Then Hoopa just naturally is very especially bulky, so just, you know, we chew that. We eat that. Unironically, not the he ate that took 80% podcast. The he ate that, literally ate that for breakfast. So here he's in a position to where he does not have a switch into this. Literally his only switch in is like Gyarados or Kyurem, but they can't eat two. So he's kind of in a position where he has to decide who his least valuable member is. He's got to sack something. And yeah, Hoopa and Garchomp putting on immense pressure this game. Immense pressure. Here, we get the kill on Rotom, which is what we like to see, man. We like to see this. And Rotom's down, so we're up 6-4 early on in the game. And Valiant's booster is popped. So I feel in quite the commanding position here. Game has pretty much gone exactly to plan. Nothing too crazy has really happened. Kind of what I expected to happen has happened. And yeah, the game plan is game planning. Just Garchomp break, Hoopa break, everything else support squad. Here he ends up going Gyarados, which is where things get a little spooky because obviously I don't one-shot Gyarados with a Shadow Ball, but the problem here is if I switch out and he Dragon Dances, Cinderace cannot revenge because he should not Terra, really? Like, seeing no Shaman means he doesn't necessarily have to Terra because a combination of Earthquake plus Water move hits my entire team. So realistically, I don't have anything on my team to force him into Terra Flying Terra Blast. So like, I need the chip damage on Hoopa, so if he does end up tearing to flying, I can then revenge with Cinderace. If not, I can always go Klefki, get up a Reflector Thunder Wave, and then go Garchomp. But pretty much, regardless of whatever happened, I needed the damage here. Because again, Garchomp can win in the position it's in, as long as I play it right, because the booster battle is gone. So if I get up a Scale Shot later in the game or a sub, the game's over. So Garchomp is in a position where it can already win the game. So even if he just straight up attacks me here instead of Dragon Dancing with Hoopa, in front of Hoopa, I should say, I feel pretty confident that I can win the game regardless, as long as I get this damage off. So I decide my best course of action here is to just stay in with Hoopa and just get off big damage. Because again, I need this damage. If Gyarados stays healthy, it's going to make this game a lot harder because he can just keep switching in and out, and he can play his positioning right. This is a big problem. So I decide, even though Hoopa has a ridiculous matchup here, I'm willing to let it go just to get this damage off because Gyarados is that much of a threat. So we go for the Shadow Ball. How much we do? About like 60%. That's quite a bit. But again, he does go for the Dragon Dance, which is what I was expecting, considering how far down he was. Because if he just killed me there, yeah, you get the Moxie boost, but you're still slower than things like Torn, Cinderace, Garchomp. So here, I decided that my least valuable member is, you know, I gotta sack something here because nothing on my team is eating 2 hits from a +1 Gyarados. So weighing my options, I decide that Tentacruel is the best sack here because, again, it was really just here to spin and check Valiant. But now that Valiant's booster's already popped and Glamour's not here, like, Tentacruel really doesn't do a whole lot for me. So if there isn't something to sack, Tentacruel is the mon. So we decide that good old Squilliam has got to go. His usefulness for us has been used up, and he fought a good fight. He fought a good fight. So we go into Squilliam for the sack because, you know, if he water moves, he just Earthquakes next move. But he actually ends up tearing here, which is very, very good for me because now that he's no longer a water type, assuming he's not Terra Fire, which he's not, he's Terra Flying like we expected. As long as he wasn't Terra Fire, then Cinderace comes in and just clicks Pyro Ball. And even if he was Terra Fire, we can just come in and click High Jump Kick. Even if Golden Go comes out, like, it's fine because we just, you know, we take the damage, but we at least force the Gyarados out. Here, Squilliam was on 1, you know, big Focus Sash. But, you know, we're dead next turn. So, you know, he's Dragon Dance, Terra Blast, Earthquake, last move, probably Water move. And here, again, now that he's no longer a water type, we can go Cinderace and just straight up kill him with Pyro Ball. Obviously, the risk associated with that is, you know, we have to hit a Pyro Ball, and we've missed quite a few this season already. I think we've missed 2 or 3 in our first 2 games. So, not feeling the most comfortable here. You know, I should be feeling a lot more comfortable than I do feel, but, you know, this is the play. And here, he knows I'm Scarf at this point, but, you know, his last 3 mons, Valiant, Golden Go, Kyurem, and Gyarados, none of them resist Pyro Ball, and they all take an absolute fuck ton. So, like, he's in a position, he doesn't have Pyro Ball switch in. So we hit the Pyro Ball. Happy about it, because if we miss that, that would put us in quite a bad position. But end up getting the kill with Cinderace. And, yeah. Feel pretty... Again, I just feel like the game plan is game planning. Like, everything I expected to come is happening, is here. Everything I expected to happen is happening. You know, no Chimecho, Terra Fairy. We love that. Chimecho came, my mental probably would have been shattered for life. So yeah, I believe half his team is gone now. We've killed Gyarados, we've killed Rotom, we've killed Persian, so now it's just his top 3 in Valiant, Golden Go, Kyurem. And yeah, here I'm Scarf, so I know no matter what he is, we're faster. And just looking at his team, the last three, again, no Powerball switch in, and I don't want him because I am so far ahead, I should say. There's no reason for me to take off the gas pedal, because if he's like a substitute or a scale shot loaded dice with like dragon or like scale shot, icicle spear, loaded dice, if I switch out here and he starts speed boosting on me, like a lot of problems can arise. So I was like, all right, I just get my damage off here, put it in range of something else in my team, and I feel pretty good about my ability to win this game. But we actually end up living the earth power, so Cinderace the goat, but we miss Powerball, and he ends up killing us with the earth power, which is a tad unfortunate, to say the least. But it at least gives us a position to kind of just decide what we want to do here. So I guess I will go over this. I'll go over this, and then I'll let the VOD play out a little bit. But here I'm in quite a weird position, because I could go Garchomp, but my play with Garchomp is Scale Shot, right? Like that is my play, because he could still be Scarf guy. He could still be Scarf Kyurem, which if he Scarf Kyurem, I can't sub in front of him because Earth Power probably puts me out of range of clicking Substitute. And even if it does, like, I can't SD, so I'm forced into Scale Shot. I don't know. Garchomp just forced a lot of weird positions, because, like, what if he's mixed with Icicle Spear and I'm faster, I sub, he Icicle Spears kills me. If he's Scarf and I'm out of range of Substitute after Earth Power, that's also weird. If I come out and I Scale Shot and he goes Valiant, I'm also just in a weird position. So I didn't want to go Garchomp, even though it looked like a pretty good play here, because again, just Icicle Spear, mix set, Scarf, Earth Power looked weird. Hoopa, I didn't want taking an Earth Power for no reason, just because Hoopa could also win from here. So I was like, okay, like, even though I could go Hoopa, I don't want to. Sorry. I don't want Hoopa taking the chip damage, because if I take an Earth Power plus burn damage, I might not have Hoopa around for the whole rest of the game to clean out Golden Go Valiant, because Golden Go and Valiant are going to get one tapped by a Shadow Ball with Terra Ghost. So I was like, okay, I don't want Hoopa taking the damage. Garchomp forces a lot of weird, unnecessary mind games that I don't want to have to deal with, considering how ahead I am right now. So I end up deciding that Klefki is the best course of action, because again, I can get this is going to be my third cycle of screens going up here. And if he decides to stay in, I can just Thunder Wave him. And if he switches out, cool, I got free screens. So I really didn't care what happened here. Just get Light Screen up. I didn't want to Thunder Wave, because if he went Golden Go, then I'm a turn behind. So like Light Screen covers everything, because if he switches out into Golden Go, we're good. If he stays in, we're good. And yeah, like, even if he hard stops Golden Go, as long as I get Light Screen up, Torn just eats that thing alive for breakfast. So I felt Light Screen was the best play here, just because there's nothing he could do to really punish it. Klefki ends up living the Earth Power with the Light Screen, and then here I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, how do we like win this game quick? And I was like, all right, if he Scarf, we just Thunder Wave it, and then Hoopa just wins the game no matter what. And I just come and click Shadow Ball 3 times. So we go for the Thunder Wave, get the para. Now we know no matter what set he is, Hoopa just wins. Here, little unfortunate. I kind of want him to kill me at this point, just so I can go Hoopa and win the game. But he got paralyzed, so we just, get Reflect up. And here he kills us with the Earth Power. And from the position we're in, Hoopa just wins. Valiant gets one tapped. Golden Go, even if it didn't take the substitute recoil, unless he's Berry, gets one tapped. And Kyurem, with how frail it is going to get one tapped here. So as this game finishes out here, we do end up winning a big 3-0 victory over Ruppy. So big dub. Finally got one on the board for the season. Week 1, again, if I just played it a little better, we could have won that. I'm not too worried about it. Just, user error on my end. Just, if I kept Klefki around for backs, we don't get reverse swept. But, it's all good. Week 2, very, very frustrating loss. Just a lot of things that, just didn't go my way. Just, I'm over week 2. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I've talked about it so much just internally that we don't talk about week 2. Week 2 never happened. Just that game did not happen. So we are off to the races now, as one would say. Finally on the board. We are now 1-2, putting up the W because game's over. Nothing he's got for me. And yeah, feels good to get the first win on Wi-Fi. Took a little longer than expected. This is also the worst start I've ever had to a league ever. I don't think I've ever started a league with a loss before, so just starting 0-1 was pretty. Starting a league 0-1 was pretty new to me because I have always won my week 1s in every league I play, so losing week 1 felt very strange. Going down 0-2, again, I've never been in that position, so I was feeling the pressure right off the bat. I was like, oh my god, I already have to worry about making playoffs or not. And, usually I don't got to worry about that till midseason. But usually I make playoffs in every league I play in, minus the PDL league I just played in. That's the first and only time I've never not made playoffs for a league. But, I hated that team. But regardless, big dub coming in. Got one on the board. Team, again, even though we are 0-2, mentally, I knew those games were completely in my hands. Just things sometimes just slip out of them, and not a whole lot you can do about that. So, good game to my opponent, Ruppy. Good game. Team, again, I don't usually like making transactions after draft. I feel like I usually always get what I want. So, I've debated, not trades per se, but I've debated getting rid of Terra Ghost onto Dunsparce for Terra Ground. I probably will end up doing that at some point. When I pull the trigger on that, I do not know. But Terra Ghost to Dunsparce, I don't think we'll ever be using it. Terra Fairy, I do see the value in it. It's just having Terra Ghost and Terra Fairy on both my Terra captains really limits the possibilities of prep for my opponent. So just by having Terra grounded undone really changes up how people prep. So, and also I think I'll bring Terra ground at least once during the season, even if I make the trade now. So I am looking to get Terra ground to Dunsparce. I probably will end up doing that before the trade deadline. But for now, I'm really liking the team. Even though we're 1-2, I feel like the team's been performing fine. Only Mons that have not come to a game so far is Shaman and Rotom. We've used Sneasel 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks in a row, we brought Sneasel, and he unironically did very, very well in both games. So I'm even pretty content with Sneasel. So yeah, I mean, I like the team. Not the record we want to start with, but feeling good about it. And yeah, hopefully we can keep the momentum going and get a win next week in week 4. So I'm gonna get on out of here. I'll see y'all next week.